All rise.
I want viewers watching my show to believe in themselves.
Judge Hatchett is compelling.
I was not the first one to throw a walk.
Let me just tell you what you just said.
Compassionate.
I really enjoy being a judge. Now I am touching people who I will never know I touched.
She's powerful.
You should have never let them walk out of your life when she was 3.
And she's on the bench.
Don't get me preaching up in here today.
Right.
I'm Terrence Coleman, former Superior Court judge in Fulton County, Georgia. Today's case explores family conflict, parenting differences, and damages. Stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
All rise. Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Hatchett presiding. Your Honor.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Good day. All right. You are here suing, I guess you all were at one time sister-in-laws. Is that correct?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
The defendant, was married to your brother.
Yes.
You're suing her now for $2,320.
Yes.
So why is it necessary for you all to be in my court today? I always have to ask that, particularly when there are 2 family members standing on opposite sides of my courtroom. Even though family by marriage, I get that. But still, what's happening?
Well, you know, about 4 years ago, Your Honor, she had a head trauma accident, and she had head trauma from a car accident. So.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And she's been recovering, and she's been recovering a great deal.
Good.
However, we had me and my brother. We were up north in San Francisco, taking care of taking care of the kids as she recovered. However, later on, she moved down to San Diego with her mom, and my job coincidentally moved down to San Diego too. So I went down there, and because she was down there, I continued to further help her with the children. There has been
How many children are we talking about?
We're talking about 3.
3 children.
3 children, 2 boys and a girl. And what has happened is we have 2 complete different styles of rearing children. And we were both aware of that. However, I stepped in because this is my family. This is my brother's children. I love my brother's children, and I love her likewise. But our differences in the way we raise our children are just different.
So how are they different? Tell me what your style of parenting is and what her style of parenting is. How are they different?
I have a more structured way I raise children. She's more carefree and very carefree. And I believe in children having manners. I believe in children going to bed at a certain hour. I believe in children, you know, not having chores. And I believe in structures. You know, you sound
like you're related to my mother. Yes, I got it, and my grandmother.
And that's where you know, and she's more carefree. She believes that they need to think on their own. She thinks they ought to do what they kind of, well, let them kind of do what they want to do, and it's not working. It's a conflict. So
now, why is it a conflict? Are you taking on responsibility for the children?
Well, we were both kind of like parenting because she's still yet recovering.
Okay, so when you moved to so let's back up. When you were living in San Francisco area, your brother had primary responsibility for the children while she was recovering.
Right.
Then she relocated to San Diego, so that I would assume so that you could have the support of your mother. Is that correct? More support from your family.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry to hear about your accident, but I'm glad that you are well on the way to full recovery, let's hope. And what have you agreed to do in terms of, as you defined it, co-parenting them?
Well, we had done very little in Unify because we're kind of always at odds with one another about co-parenting. However, when the children are with me,
and how often are that's what I'm trying to understand.
On the weekend, you know, on the weekends. But because they had been with me up north, we had them more. So we had a system that we went by. You know, and I didn't have to tell them to do it, but every time they go with her and then they come back now, they come back like they're mad. They have no order. They don't want to do anything. They just all over the place.
So your support is to have the children on the weekends?
Yes, it began. I was supposed to have the children through the week, but you know, the way my job had changed, because I had changed, so it had to be switched up to the weekends, and that's where it really got bad.
Coming up on The Verdict with Judge Hatchett.
You stay up under my roof, you do what I say, and that's it.
You really are related to my mother and dad.
I believe so.
I mean, you sound just like them.
The Verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Colleen Michelson, who is suing Darby LaCroix for property damage.
You were expecting Colleen to continue to be helpful with the children, is that correct?
Yes, exactly. So after my accident, it was about 4 years ago, I suffered extreme brain injury, you know, leaving me very fatigued, headaches. I lost my coordination, and I'm just getting all of my abilities back now. I mean, I'm not fully recovered, but I'm on the mend.
Good.
So our arrangement was that, you know, she was in San Francisco, and I was there too, obviously, with my kids. And because I was unable to care for them in full capacity, that she would watch them, but her job moved her to San Diego, where I also needed to be with my family, with my mom, who was helping me.
Right.
And we had agreed that she was going to watch the kids during the day. And her job changed suddenly, and she was not able to do that. So
understandably
right.
so.
And so I'm trying to work part-time now to get myself back together. And, you know, so she said, well, I'll take them on the weekends. Our arrangement was to have her take them on the weekends so that I could have them in the evening for the little time that I'm able to deal with them as I make my recovery, and she would have them on the weekends. And so she didn't follow through with her, you know, taking them during the day.
Well, because she couldn't.
Right.
I mean, she couldn't. But, as I understand it, you are still taking care of the children on the weekend, which is an enormous help, I would think.
Yes, and I'm extremely grateful to her for that. I mean, absolutely. Right. It's just that, you know, I just feel like this is all about her not liking my parenting style.
So let's really get down to the crux of what happened. So you were suing for $2,320. And according to the complaint, the children caused some antique pieces to be completely destroyed in your home. All right, so I want to get that on the record, but obviously there's a lot more going on than the antiques being destroyed.
She feels that I'm too strict. She feels that, you know, like I take the children to church. For me in my house, we serve the Lord. They go into church. It's not optional. You know, when you live in my house, you stay up under my roof, you do what I say, and that's it.
You really are related to my mother and dad.
I believe so.
I mean, you sound just like them.
It's going to be that way. You know, children, I don't believe in children dictating. I will hear certain things that children say, but children don't have dictations where they don't pay rent and put mortgages. That's not going to happen in my house.
You say that she disagrees with your parenting style. And I really am going to get back to these antiques, but let's deal with this. Let's just get this all out on the table now. What does she disagree with?
Well, as she stated, she's super pious, which is wonderful. I mean, I completely respect that she's very religious. But, you know, when I married her brother, Adam, she understood that I was more of a free spirit. I'm spiritual, not religious, which is my right to be that way.
Of course it is.
And, you know, I told my kids, you know, you have to do what she says. But at the same time, I don't feel that she should try to impose her religious beliefs or try to make my children go to church, because my husband and I, or my ex-husband and I, had decided that we were not going to force our kids into any particular religion. Like, we wanted them to have the choice, because we ourselves were more spiritual. And in fact, my ex-husband really wasn't happy with that super strict, pious upbringing.
Do your children obey her when they go to her house?
Yes, they do, because she's saying that, you know, she's like these rules and regulations. I have rules and regulations too. However, I'm just not extremely strict with it. I mean, my philosophy is...
Wait. Either you have rules and regulations or you don't.
Well, I do, but I believe that you can have rules and regulations, but you can also give your kids a choice, and you can let them have more freedom in deciding the things that they want to do.
I give my children choices. I've given my children are young adults now, but I gave them choices. But I also set parameters.
Right.
These are the guidelines. This is where you have to operate within this frame of rules.
And I do that too. I don't let them just do anything they want. I can let them have a choice in some of the things that they're doing, but it's not, I don't just say, hey, do whatever it is you want to do, because they do understand that they're children and I'm the parent. She's just very, very, very strict, whereas, it's just a matter of personality, because I'm just more, like outgoing and fun. And I think that she kind of resents that because of the injury that I had, that she had to kind of step in. And because she's strict, she sees it as, well, I'm taking care of these kids now, and so they have to do it exactly how I do it. And again, I'm super grateful that she's been there.
I was waiting for you to get to that.
I am.
I was
I've expressed that
waiting to
to
hear
her.
that.
I have told her a million times that, I would not be here without her and my ex-husband and us being able to make this arrangement. But at the same time, while I'm very grateful that she was there and that I really appreciate everything she's done, I don't want her to raise my kids based on her philosophy and how she's doing things.
Well,
and I think that they can follow my philosophy because I'm their mother, but still honor what she wants done in her house.
Coming up.
They knew not to do that. So, she didn't tell them, apparently, not to use them in the house.
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
The verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Colleen Michelson, who is suing Darby LaCroix for property damage.
Well, let's talk about what happened in the house that day. Let's get there, because I have some things I want to say to you. What happened? Tell me why you're suing for $2,320.
Okay, they were coming in from being with their mother. They come in with these skateboards, which he knows I don't allow that in my house. Okay, as soon as I see
now
this,
you agree that's reasonable.
But she let them in the house with the skateboards.
Oh, wait. There's one thing about coming into the house with the skateboards, but there's one thing about using skateboards in the house. Would you not agree?
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is, they knew not, I don't have my kids, I don't let my kids use a skateboard in the house. So they may have come with the skateboards, but I don't understand why she didn't say, don't use the skateboards in the house.
Why should she have had to have said that?
Because it's her house and she's so strict. She has all these rules. Shouldn't she set the rules for her house? And
If I
knew.
put my children in the car to take my children to their aunt's house, you would expect that I, as their mother, would say, you know not to use these skateboards in the house. Wouldn't you say that to them?
Right, but when the kids have the skateboards in my house, they don't use them inside the house. They knew not to do that. So she didn't tell them apparently not to use them in the house.
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds?
I don't think it sounds ridiculous at all, Your Honor.
I do, and really at the end of the day, my opinion counts. For you to say, well, it's really on her because she did not tell the children not to use the skateboards, is ridiculous.
But they could have been doing, kids sometimes do things that they're not supposed to do, and as the responsible adult, I think you do have to say, even though they should already know it, they may be doing something that they know not to do, I think you have to say, hey, don't do that, because
Colleen,
they're going to try to get away with it.
Your Honor, I beg to differ. As soon as they came up in the house, I got on the phone and I called her. What are you doing? As soon as I got on the phone, the kids was Aiden started riding the skateboard, and that's how my antiques came up broken.
But she was on the phone with me instead of paying attention to them being on the skateboard. She has a hardwood floor, so she could clearly hear what they were doing. Granted, I'm glad she called me, but instead of calling me saying they're on the skateboard, considering that it's her house and she has these antiques, I would have thought that she would have said, hey, get off the skateboard.
Coming up.
They break the antiques. Then what happens?
My brother said that he was going to pay half of it. So if he was going to pay half of it, I told her, then let the kids work it off. She said no.
The verdict with Judge Hatchett is back with the case of Colleen Michelson, who is suing Darby LaCroix for property damage.
They break the antiques. Then what happens?
My brother said that he was going to pay half of it. So if he was going to pay half of it, I told her, then let the kids work it off. She said no.
Why did you say no?
I said, you going to pay for it.
Why did you say no?
Because I honestly don't feel that this is a responsibility that I should bear. Your Honor,
Wait, that wasn't the question. She said, let the children work off the other half. And you said no.
Well, that's not doable for me because that takes away time that I could be spending with my children when in fact, I think that she should bear some of the responsibility for this because she was not able to watch them during the day, as we'd agreed, I had to put them in daycare, which cost me $4,350. So they're in daycare during the day and, I only see them at night and she has them on the weekend. So I don't have the money to pay for this. I have this daycare bill now that came out of nowhere. It's an unexpected expense. I also have my continuing medical bills, which are very, very high. And I'm taking care of my mother, who is taking care of me, and she's just not in the position anymore to be able to help as much as she did. And so this is not affordable.
You didn't answer my question. Why not let the children work off the debt?
Because it takes away from them being for me. And plus, I don't feel that my children should have to work off a debt because it's not our responsibility.
Judge Hatchett's verdict when we return.
It is your responsibility. And so I'm going to enter an order. But let me tell you this before I enter a judgment in this case. What troubles me about this is that she was willing to say, look, instead of you owing me the money, I will, why don't we let the kids work it off? And you have come up with this reason of why not. And I understand that you're in a tough spot now with medical bills and childcare, but you have exactly 20 months to come up with all of this money. So I expect you to divide this by 20 and pay her every month until that amount is paid. Therefore, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,320. But let's be clear, no skateboards in the house. And if you have trouble with her wanting your children to go to church on Sunday, then you need to have your children in your own home on Sunday. Are we clear? Nothing further, we'll stand adjourned.
Judge Hatchett has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $2,320.
I still love you and the kids, but I'm glad the judge seen my point of view.
Well, clearly we're two different people. I'm grateful for your help. I'm just happy we can put this behind us.
Centers on a legal dispute between Colleen Michelson, plaintiff, and Darby Lacroix, defendant. While the lawsuit focuses on $2,320 in property damages after Darby's children broke antique items in Colleen's home, the deeper issues involve parenting conflicts, family obligations, and differing values. Background: Darby suffered a traumatic brain injury in a car accident 4 years earlier, leaving her with lasting fatigue, headaches, and coordination challenges. During her recovery, Colleen stepped in to help care for Darby's 3 children, along with her own brother, Darby's then-husband. Later, Darby moved to San Diego for her mother's support, and Colleen's job also relocated there, allowing her to remain involved. They attempted a co-parenting arrangement, but their contrasting parenting philosophies caused friction. Colleen's approach was strict and structured, rules for manners, bedtimes, chores, and mandatory church attendance. Darby's method was more relaxed, emphasizing freedom of choice, openness, and a spiritual rather than religious upbringing. These clashing perspectives created repeated conflict over child rearing. The incident. The lawsuit arose after Darby's children brought skateboards into Colleen's house and began riding them indoors. Despite Colleen's explicit rule forbidding this, the children caused serious damage to valuable antiques. Colleen argued that Darby should have ensured her children respected house rules before sending them. Darby countered that children sometimes act out regardless of prior instructions, and that Colleen, present at the time, should have intervened directly instead of calling her about it. Arguments. Colleen's position. She consistently enforced order and discipline. Darby failed to prepare her children to follow rules in her household. The damages directly resulted from lax oversight. She proposed a compromise, letting the children work off the debt instead of demanding full financial compensation. Darby's position. She appreciated Colleen's help but resented her rigid parenting style and religious impositions. She and her ex-husband wanted their children to grow up free to choose their own beliefs. She rejected the work-off option, saying it would take away limited quality time with her children and was unfair to them. She stressed her financial strain. $4,350 in daycare costs, after Colleen could no longer watch the children during the day, continuing medical bills, and caring for her mother. Legal reasoning. The court recognized Darby's hardships, but underscored that parents are ultimately responsible for damages caused by their children. Financial struggles and medical recovery, though sympathetic, did not absolve responsibility. It was also noted that Colleen had already provided substantial support and flexibility in caring for the children. Decision. Judgment entered for Colleen Michelson in the amount of $2,320. Payment ordered over 20 months in installments, easing the burden while ensuring restitution. Clear directives were given: no skateboards indoors. If disagreements exist over church attendance, the children should remain with Darby on Sundays instead of being sent to Colleen. Broader analysis. This case goes beyond property damage, touching on larger themes. Family roles versus boundaries. Colleen stepped in as a caregiver but expected her authority to be respected. Darby resisted losing her parental role. Clash of parenting philosophies. Strict discipline versus permissive freedom reflected deeper values about control, independence, and structure. Religion in child rearing. Colleen saw faith as central. Darby opposed forced religious exposure. Responsibility under hardship. Despite sympathy for Darby's struggles, accountability prevailed, emphasizing that parental duty cannot be shifted onto others. Closing notes. Though the ruling favored Colleen, both women expressed ongoing appreciation for one another. Colleen reaffirmed her love for the children, while Darby acknowledged the help she had received. The case illustrates how family disputes in court often represent larger conflicts of philosophy, identity, and responsibility that extend beyond the immediate financial claim.